Everyone needs a good work-life balance. That's something I've realized a lot recently. I feel like it's easy to fall into this trap of working a lot and grinding it out, but there's gotta be more to it than that. I used to think you got this magical formula that you just figure out one day, and suddenly, bam, you've got it all under control. But honestly, I don't think it's that simple. It feels like this constant balancing act, and sometimes you're doing great, feeling like you got your whole life together. Then other times, it just piles up and you're one step away from a complete meltdown. For me, I used to think it just meant working less. Like if I just cut down my hours and took more time off, I'd finally feel more relaxed and have more me time. But I've realized it's not really about working less, it's about working smarter and knowing when to stop pushing yourself into an early grave. So, as you guys know, I'm in college right now, getting my master's. Eventually, I want to get into physical therapy. Something I wanted to do for a long time, and I genuinely enjoy what I'm learning and excited about it. But man, it is a grind. Between classes, studying, and these random projects, that alone feels like a full-time job. And then on top of that, I've got 2 actual jobs. I work at Walmart, I've also got a part-time gig at the college. And the money is nice, I'm not gonna lie. But what's the point of paying off my student loans and paying my tuition if I can't even pass my classes? Like a few weeks ago, I had 2 back-to-back exams that were absolute nightmares. One was in EKGs and the other was advanced exercise physiology. And on top of that, I had a presentation after that. And I tried to study, but between my shifts, homework, and these grad projects I've been working on, I just didn't have much left in the tank. And I didn't fail, but I definitely could have done way better. And what kills me is that I knew the stuff. I was just exhausted and didn't do as well as I could have. If I just took the time to study a little more and work a little less. Even one of my professors noticed I was looking a little rough and needed some rest. Some days I would barely eat or barely sleep because I was up late studying or working on some essay I was due the next day. I've been so focused on trying to do everything that I wasn't doing anything. You ever feel like that? Like you're just running around checking all these boxes, but not making any actual progress on the stuff that really matters? That was me. I've always had this mindset of, work now and relax later. That's what my parents drilled into me when I was younger. My dad used to work crazy long hours when I was growing up. And he would always say, you gotta hustle while you're young so you can rest when you're older. And sure, I get that. There's value in hard work. But there's also value in not completely wrecking yourself in the process. Because what's the point of working nonstop if you're too drained to actually enjoy what you worked for? So I decided to make a few changes. For starters, I'm planning to quit my part-time college job in December. It's not that I don't like it, it's actually a pretty chill gig, but I realized I don't need as much as I thought I did. I've already paid off a good chunk of my debt. I've got some savings built up, and I can get by just working at Walmart, at least for now. It might take me a little bit longer to pay off my student loans, but honestly, I'll take that trade-off if it means I can actually sleep and pass my classes. I don't think balance is just about time. No, it's also about priorities. I used to think my main priority was paying off this debt and just stacking up cash. But now I'm realizing that my main priority should be getting through school in one piece. I want to be good at what I do and not just get by. And look, I'm not pretending like I have it all figured out. There's still days when I wake up and think, how am I supposed to get through everything I have on my list today? Sometimes laundry piles up, or the only thing I eat in a day is a bowl of cereal and some bologna. But I'm learning to be a little bit easier on myself. Like, it's okay not to have everything perfectly balanced all the time. I don't think life is supposed to be perfectly balanced. It's supposed to have a few ups and downs. Something else I've realized is how much your mental space affects everything. When I'm stressed out, even the smallest tasks feel impossible. When I've had a good night's sleep, eating something that's not instant ramen, and go for a run, I feel like a completely different person. It's wild how much a difference that makes. And I think a lot of us, us in our 20s, we fall into this trap of thinking where if we're not constantly grinding, we're failing. And social media doesn't help either. You see everyone posting about how productive they've been or how they're booked and busy. You start thinking that you're behind. But no one posts about the burnouts or the nights they cried in the shower because they just couldn't handle the pressure. Everyone wants to look like they have it all together. But the truth is, no one really does. We're all just trying to figure it out. And that's okay. The more people talk about it, the more I realize that everyone's version of balance looks a little different. For some people, it's working 4 days a week and spending weekends hiking or with their family. For others, it's working full time but taking small breaks throughout the day to recharge. For me, it's getting decent night's sleep, studying, and being able to go for a run. Everything else will be able to fall into place after that. I used to feel guilty about resting. Like, if I wasn't being productive, I was just wasting time. But lately, I've started thinking about how rest is just part of the process. You can't pour from an empty cup, right? Resting isn't being lazy. It's recharging so you can show up better the next day. I think this is the mindset shift that I really need. Working smarter, not harder. It's not about being busy, it's about being effective. Being efficient. If I can get all my work done, still have time to eat, sleep, maybe hang out with a few friends, that's a win in my book. But anyways, that's where I'm at right now. It's not about having a perfect schedule or quitting everything that's hard. It's about learning how to take care of yourself while you chase your goals. But yeah, if you made it this far, thanks for listening to my rant. I'd love to hear how you guys find balance in your own lives. Drop a comment down below and let me know what's been working for you guys. If you really enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, take care of yourself, get some rest, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm out.